Hey, video game fans, this is Matt, back in Conan Exiles. This isn't so much a playthrough, I just wanted to give a run through of a new home that I built. Um, as a This is kind of like stage two of the fort that I'm building. It's not finished, probably take a while for me to be finished. I've recently downloaded a bunch of mods for the game. I have more stuff and a lot of decor. I haven't really delved into it as much as I need to. It'll look a lot prettier when I get done. Um, but anyway, uh, where this place is located, I started a new game intentionally with the intention of building something in the little hole, the little sinkhole in the hills over here. For your, if you want to know where we're at. Oops. Oops. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. So we're at the crevice, and it's got an interesting. Ever since I first found it, couldn't stop thinking about the ways I could utilize it, and I've tried different things. In another game that I have saved of this, I created a pretty nice uh, base with it, or at least the foundations of it. But this one, I had a genuine idea of what I wanted to do, and it turned out different than what I thought it was going to be. But that's fine. I'm currently standing in a little ring where a spectral bear appears and walks off into the woods, and if you follow it, there's a little treasure chest. But I wanted to illustrate it. Start from here because I wanted to illustrate why I chose this location and some of the design choices that I made. I wanted this building to basically be as close to invisible as possible to the naked eye. I just wanted people to kind of ignore it and just kind of, oh, I didn't even see it there. It's just kind of blends into the environment. It has a really easy to find this location because we're just past those crags. I can't remember what they're called. Um, what is that? The God's Claw Passage, where those like fingers of stone are on like two different sides. Well, that's where that's at. And from that point of view, you can see there's a little like passage, a little trail that kind of goes off into the woods, and it kind of points towards where this location is. So you travel up the hill here. I put a little Nordic idol there. I thought it looked kind of cool and rustic there, sitting on the hillside. But you're coming up this hill, and even when I'm this close to it, it's still like invisible. So this is the top ring of that hole, and everybody that's seen this game and been in this region, you know what I mean. There's a big semicircular hole. It goes straight down into the ground, and there's a bunch of bones in the bottom of it. Well, I built this in that hole. As a fort, it's not defensible. It doesn't have a huge wall around it and all this other stuff. But I wanted it to be kind of invisible, and that's why I chose the reinforced wood, the dark shingles, the dark wood. With the trees growing in front of it, it really does just kind of camouflage it. And I tried to stay away from any like lighting sources and things that would be bright to draw attention to it. It just kind of blends into the mountain. So I really kind of like the way that was designed. Why I chose these particular building types to build into this. So this is what it looks like from the outside. Now, if you've never been to this hole, you don't really. It's an interesting geography. There are some interesting geographical features on this map, and this is one of the ones I really is fascinated with. I just put this thing in. Doorbell. Gotta have a doorbell. So into the base, and it really just comes off like a big temple. What is it called? Mitra. I was gonna say Mishra, but that's Dungeons and Dragons, Mitra. So I got a big temple to Mitra. It's been advanced one stage. It's not to the maximum stage yet. That's true with pretty much everything that I have in this building. It's kind of on stage 2, working towards stage 3, 4, 5 eventually, whatever it is. Nice interior space. I thought I looked really cool. I put triple pillars on both sides with some little, fire area. It really fills the space nicely and evenly. And if this is all it was, this is a pretty cool little temple. These are just used to store stuff that I haven't found uses for. I'm always overloaded and I need to dump stuff. And so once this thing is finished, all these chests will disappear. I have several of my followers up here because this is basically one of the only entrances to the base. So I've leveled up these guys, and even one in the shadows that, at the right time of day, if it's at night, she turns almost invisible in that corner. But in daytime, it stays pretty bright in here. This is the main floor. Another little design choice. When I put in this little fountain, I like the little hole in the behind it. I thought that was really pretty. Thought that would be a nice little design choice. So this entire front part is basically the temple. And the guards keep people from going back. In the back, on the main floor, is basically my workstations. So I got, improved versions of everything, but we're not up to the upper tier of the different kinds of workstations. So I got, the woodworking, I got my torturer's table, I got my blacksmith, we got the casting table, the armor, we got the improved dismantling bench, and of course the grinder. And then behind, we have a special Khitan artisan table, and the tanner, the improved tanner's table. I just put this in. This thing has got a graphic glitch to it, really bad. I don't like that. I never use the tanner. I never have a use for turning these things into this. It's just, and if it's got that graphic glitch on there, I'm probably going to get rid of it. I do have the improved tannery, which I do utilize. Notice I have another guard in here. And over here we got our dye manufacturing. I did have my alchemist stuff up here, but I found a different place for them and moved them. This is very much a place where if you come back and look at this thing 2 or 3 weeks from now, it's going to look very different. Just an upper area so you can look out the windows. I thought about maybe putting some garden plants or something in here. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with it. I have 2 towers that go up. Because you see, this is a very high roof. And I like that. I like that open, voluminous kind of feel to it. Plus, a lot of the improved versions of the workstations have like big, tall things. So I haven't, but I could, cut that off and maybe add a few, rooms up above. But I haven't done that yet. This tower simply goes up. Since I'm going to go outside, I'm going to not change quite yet. It's a lot of work. There we go. Just to thematically show how it works. Okay, that's all it is. It's just a simple tower. It's not perfect. I should probably flip it to the other side, remove this part, and put a ramp or something in here, and I'll probably do that at some point. The other cool thing is that from out there, you couldn't even see that these old plants and stuff were up here. I like that it's kind of hidden, but I wanted this stuff to be outside, so I got my compost heap, and I got my little flower beds and my honeybees, which haven't been improved yet, and plenty of room for more if I need them. So this is what I got on this side. It's always windy. Makes it very loud. Not perfect, but I kind of like that tower. It's kind of interesting. It doesn't take up much space. That's the main thing I like about it. And notice I got full supports for my ceiling. I like to have the pillars if I can't have an actual construction here. Inside this is the larger tower with its door coming out again into the area, which is I guess the way we came in. I'm going to put a bathroom in here, a little toilet of some kind. I need a bigger pot, something a little more substantial. And of course, I hung out some onions because I figured something to cover the smell. You know, I'm thinking ahead. Got a spiral staircase off of one of the mods, I think. I got that with a split. This is under the roof of the one side. All of this could be used for storage. I might put like this could be like the barracks, if you will, and put like beds up here for the soldiery. This goes back outside to the other side. See? I don't have any purpose for this out here except for if we have to rush somebody out there to fight from the outside. But it worked. I kind of liked it. It took me about 3 or 4 attempts to get the spiral staircase in the direction I wanted to the platform that I wanted, so it could suit my purposes. Because this also has to continue to go up, and then of course I have the little top of the lookout tower here. And I put this little thing here because I wanted the ability to, sit down, but also kind of get an angle with an archer, but whatever. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep that or not. I didn't like it just open. And so that's the tower. And now that I'm not going outside, I'm going to switch my attire back to my normal interior attire. Okay. Oh, I forgot to mention this too. Storage. Hidden floor storage here. Put some barrels. I don't know, boxes. It basically, I got this little half staircase, and then you just climb the way out. So I thought that kind of suited well. I started off this design with multiple floors that connected up with 3 wide staircases. Staircases that were 3 wide. And as I was filling in things and putting in the furnishings and stuff, I realized it probably doesn't need 3. 2 is really wide. So I took out the 3rd one, and that's where I added this little area. And I had an extra space down here. The forge, the improved forge, kind of a wide open space. In this area, which is the second time I've switched my thoughts of what I'm going to do with this space. I put my little alchemy stations are in here, and I'll probably put the golem manufacturing thing in here too. Probably I'll have to rearrange my furniture a little bit, and storage under the staircase. It's got good size space, and it works well. And it's separate from the other areas. This is kind of unfinished. I kind of like it that way. I like how the support comes right out of the stones. But I got plenty of room down here. I could put multiple rooms down here. I could divide this up a lot of different ways. Yeah, I guess before I go, in here we got the master bedroom with bath and bed and pet dogs, wolves, and the various furnishings. It's not a fancy bedroom right now. I'm working on it. When I get the kind of final decor and what I want the walls to look like, it's going to look a lot nicer. But it's a lot of space. I can find different ways to make this work. I've seen different furniture items that have like hidden secret passage things. I might want to utilize that. So I have this idea, since this is her room, to have a little sneaky little escape passage completely separate from everything else, and it pops out down there. It doesn't quite work perfectly because there's this choke point that she has to jump through, and there's the choke point over here that she has to jump through. Other than that, it works really nice. It's just those 2 little snags that aren't really working. And so I'm trying to find a workaround. The nice thing is that the floor down there, it's kind of open and I have room to work with. I just haven't gotten that far yet. Across the hall from the master bedroom is the treasure room. Now, I don't know why I'm getting so much outside sounds. Everything should be nice and closed off. There's some things in here that are legitimate treasure, and there's some things in here that are just decorative and kind of like, oh, curiosities that look like treasure. So I put them in here to kind of fill out the room a little bit. But essentially, that's all that's in here. And in the treasure chest itself, and my loud ass, accountant who I can hear everywhere in the entire building. I wish I could turn him off. Anyway, that's what's in here. Simple. Double doored hallway. I need to, get some more thralls and put guards on here and guards in there and kind of defend it. Okay, the last staircase down here, the last double staircase. So, for those who don't know, to understand what is on the bottom of this, that is the ground that's on the bottom of the hole. And there's all these bones down there, animals or people, things that have been thrown into the. See, that's the ground there. This is on the other side of that's earth, and there's earth there. It's just a big circle, and that's the bottom of it. I thought it'd be kind of cool to have an arena on the bottom and have like spectators on the upper tiers of this, on the upper level. And that's kind of what this is. This is kind of like the den area where people can sit in here and watch the fights down in the arena. I have the bar area here, which I just built today. That's why it's not really flushed out yet. All this stuff over here, I kind of had designed already. The kitchen area, basically, and all of the food stuffs and food storage and all that. Servicing the people who would be sitting in these chairs or looking over the railing watching the fighting. Behind here, we have, again, you got to have a place for, people to do their business. But then there's the staircase that goes down to the arena floor, which we'll get to. And over here is the staircase to the lower level, which are the real primo seats. In a way, they kind of suck. They have a lot less atmosphere, and of course, you're not close to the bar. But man, in the seats down here, you can get blood on your face from watching the fights because you're like right in it. You're just two foundations high above the fighting floor. So I thought these would be like the primo blood seats. So I got to get some more seating down here. Okay, now down to the arena. I got to put a staircase in there, but it's not really designed to be like a big introductory part. This is more like if you survive the arena, this is how they're going to let you out, because that door is not going to be accessible to the people who are in the arena, obviously. But between all the bones and stuff that are in the ground naturally, I decided I'm going to put in all these spiky parts, all these defensive things. It's harder than heck to move around in here without getting poked by stuff. It's a pretty good space, but it's really, tight. I got some prisoner chains that I got to hook some people up and make them look miserable. I got the little lizard, god thing and the skulls up there, which I kind of liked. I got the little arena kind of arches and stuff, which turned out really well. They actually fit in here nicely, considering I did not have those when I built this originally. But eventually, like I said, the actual, I'm probably going to swap out some of the foundation stones with a different style, but for now, this does what I want. Gate. This is where I have the decision to make. If I want to use a big creature, I can't use the standard arena door that they want you to use. That's a normal door, and the arena door isn't really much bigger. Where's that at? I mean, the arena door is just a door, This is a big door. If I want big creatures, I have to utilize the big door. But here's the problem. This thing is ridiculously tight. And it goes out. And I have another door here, but it's not really a door. I kind of blocked it off for a reason. And you notice how dark it is in here. That little escape passage comes out right over here. So you see how tight it is? If I went to a smaller door, I'd give myself one extra space, then I would have a perfect little escape hatch over there. So it's a difference between having a nice jumbo door and having a really cool escape, hatch. But anyway, we got our little prisoner thrall cage here. That person's ready to be placed someplace, but I need a torch or something out here too. Okay, here's the outside gate. That middle one is kind of a faux gate. I did that to close off the light. It was way too bright in here, whether or not the door was shut. So that's why I did that. And here's the little prison district. I got my prison cells here. One cell, 2 cells. This one's currently unoccupied. But this one's the one that has the big hole in the top. And then a third cell over here, which is kind of a smaller cell. See? Hole through the top, which I kind of liked. Okay. Now, again, if for those of you who know, this the big hole has this connected tunnel down here, which I think is awesome. And of course, I always want to utilize this. The full-sized animal, whatever it's called, the stable thing, or the animal pen, really should be able to fit in here. It's plenty deep, but I guess it just has a few too many graphic conflicts with the slanted ground and the whatever. You can't place the big-sized animal pen in there. So I had to place two single pens instead of the one big pen. But man, that thing was so close to being perfect fit. Part of it is they got this big chunk of rock hanging from the ceiling, and I think that partially blocks it from being able to be pulled out farther. But man, that would have been perfect if I could have gotten that in here. Water from the well, which I haven't improved. Okay, again, for those people who know or don't know, here's the back end exit to the that hole, the crevice. It's this wonderful little hillside with all these iron ore and rocks and wood and everything else. And I like to leave it all closed because it really does camouflage that cave. But great place to get resources, which is why I don't want to build anything out here. Because once you start building stuff, it prevents the natural surroundings from spawning correctly. And the third entrance exit to this area is on an upper shelf, which I have built this little staircase for. This was prior to purchasing the thing that gave me the mod, I guess, not purchasing. I could have put in that little spiral staircase and it would have been a little more efficient, but this works. Yes, this started off as the small wheel of pain. Now it's the large wheel of pain, or the normal sized wheel of pain. I got a little, slave area over here again. And I got to put another. I got a, what's this called? The cross of pain. So in case I bring in some people that can't, if there's no room in the wheel of pain, I can strap them up on there. But that's all this is for. This is just the training area. And the back exit, the third exit, which is the smallest of all of the ways into this tunnel complex, is this little crevice here. Harder, you can't get here. I mean, you're either climbing up this rock or you're flying. It's the only way to get into this little crevice. And this overlooks that little ruined fort that if you go down there, you'll see a little ghost of a siege that destroyed it. But yeah, I got iron and stone and stuff out there too. I love that. This this hole, the back hole, and the main, pit are and they're all interconnected, and I just find it fascinating. I love the idea of building a base in this thing, and I've, this is really one of my favorite builds. It's not done yet. I have more work to do. I definitely have more decor to do. I'm happy with the basic structure of the entire place, but I got some different ideas and things I might change. I don't want to get rid of the railings. The railings make it impossible to actually see what's going on in here. Um, but it's a safety issue. You're pretty high up. You're over three. What is it? Three? Yeah, three foundations high up here. That's a big fall. I do think I'm going to get rid of this row here. This, and this. Those three blocks I'm going to remove. I'm going to move those benches back here. And I'm going to basically create a slightly larger hole to view. Because right now this is the best seat over here. Because you can pretty much see the whole arena from this seat. But from these, yeah, this one's not too bad. But this one sucks. I mean, you're basically only getting the the stuff. So I kind of wanted to just move this back and give it a little more realistic, nicer vibe for an arena. Again, fully supported. Those supports go all the way up. There's one right behind this wall. I just put walls around it. So I could actually knock out a hole. I could widen this thing out a little bit if I wanted. I could put guards, line up guards in here. Like doing something like this. Well, I don't have the materials, but I could put a hole there and just have guards standing in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 deep, waiting for anybody to attempt to try to get the treasure directly. That kind of thing. I'm just thinking defenses. But anyway, those pillars go straight up to the ceiling, basically. All with the temple facade on the front of it. This is like the area that's open to the public. Everything else is, you know, special invited guests only. I just realized I should probably put those slanted down just like that side. Make it mess with my feng shui. There's probably a reason why I did it that way, though. It's probably, yeah, maybe not. Yeah, I'll probably have to do that. Like I said, I got a lot of little design things I need to decide how I want to do them. I could put an upper level over here for defensive purposes, looking down over the area. I might put stairs going up to it. I don't know. I could put a platform here at the top and put the staircase down here. So the stairs would be going up where I'm standing. And then I'd be on a platform. And from the platform I could go put stairs that go up or something like that. I don't know. Just thinking out loud. Anyway, that is my current base for this playthrough. I think this is the only thing I've got going on right now. That's all I wanted to do. I kind of wanted to kind of log my progress of my base build, and I've been building this over several weeks. This isn't something I just threw together at the last minute. But I feel like I built it, and now I've finished with like my second level of improvements and stuff, but now I'm ready to kind of tackle the next tier. I need to go out and play more and get more levels and unlock more stuff, because right now I'm not that high leveled. So there's still a lot of things I need to unlock. as far as furnishings and building design goes. Even with all the mods and stuff that I have from the Bazaar. This is driving me nuts. You're gone. I cannot stand graphic glitches. Every time I go by there, just flip, 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 flip. Just not sure what else I want to do. I'm happy with my workstations. I'm finally happy with this. This was one of the last things I did today before I started recording, was get this thing finished, because but prior to this was just an empty shaft. It was just, I had 4 doorways on the bottom of this. It was wide open, and it was a hole all the way to the top, and I had a floor up there where I could access the roof, but I didn't have a way to get up there. I knew I was either going to do a stairs or a ladder. I just wasn't sure, and I saw that spiral staircase, and it turns out it worked out pretty nice. So that's all I got for today. At some point, I'm definitely going to do a similar thing for my other playthrough. My base along the ridge that has a village outside of it is really grown. Unfortunately, it doesn't have access to the mods. For whatever reason, mods don't work in that game, in the beta version or the non-public access one, whatever. It doesn't have, it has access to all the DLC, but it doesn't have access to mods. So it's not going to have some of the fancy details that this one's going to have at some point. But that's where I'm at. Thanks for watching.